Climate change is getting quite a bit of attention, but for me climate change is a symptom. It's a symptom of the much larger problem that is us as a human race losing our indigenousness on this planet, becoming more and more disconnected from this beautiful planet we live on. You're walking this land, you're living on this land, you're breathing in what the trees breathe out. Connect with where you are. Hi, I'm Kajedo. I'm the land manager for Findhorn Hinterland Trust here, and I've lived in this community for the last 45 years. The last 10 years I had the privilege of taking care of the wilder part of the land. In my younger years, I discovered that my strongest connection to the spiritual dimension of life is in the woods, is among trees, and I became a forester. So that's the only piece of paper that says I am something. I am a government-approved forester, went to forestry school and all that. So that's part of what qualified me for becoming land manager here. In 2015, we became a charity. A lot of our story is about how to turn disaster into opportunity. Trees around us here were planted about 70 to 80 years ago, a tree plantation, and when we bought it, it was neglected, it was never thinned out. So our task now is to turn this tree plantation into a biodiverse woodland. The dunes that we are part of have been one of the largest dune systems in Europe. With the best intention, people have planted trees to stop the movement of dunes. At that time, we did not realize that dunes actually are habitat for some very rare species. So we are now looking at how can we improve the bits of bare sand that we have to maintain that habitat. And amongst that we have lichens, and lichens are tiny little creatures, but they are very important in the chain of living things. We had the British Lichen Society here, and they declared us a Cinderella site because we are a site that has some nationally rare lichens, some lichens that have not been found before anywhere in Britain. Then you have grassland. The UK lost 90% of its species-rich grassland in the last 90 years. How can we keep it from being swallowed up by the encroaching next habitat, which is the dune scrub? In our case, it's mostly gorse, and the gorse spreads rapidly. And when I first came 45 years ago, there was very little of this stuff, of the gorse out here. It was mostly heather, but the gorse has spread rapidly and very fast and swallows up all the heathland and all the grassland. So part of my job is to try to protect and improve these areas that are about to disappear if we do nothing. So doing nothing is not an option if we want to keep the diversity of different habitats intact. And then of course the last habitat would be the woodland. This idea of turning a commercial tree plantation, a monoculture, into a biodiverse, healthy woodland is something that makes my heart sing. In my 10 years here, we've planted about 40,000 trees. The Hinterland Trust has 4 different purposes. The next one is education. You see a picture here, a wee picture here of me planting trees with kids. Third purpose is community building. Land can divide people or bring people together, and we're trying to make it something that brings people together. And the last one is recreation, bringing people out of their homes and off their sofas, out into the natural world. I'm in church. When I walk through the woods, I'm in church. The connection between the trees that are rooted in the earth, rooted in Gaia, and reaching up into the sky like antenna. What is here? This is living trees, living beings, full of life. The squirrels are here, the birds nest in the trees. For me, it's sacred space, sacred land, a sacred environment. Instead of rushing out here with a plan to change things because the book says this is an ecologically impoverished area, can I just pause and look at it and see how beautiful it is and let it be, and then ask, and how can I love you better? How can we improve on this? What do you need? What is needed uniquely here? So, just a quick view of my office. Welcome to my office, the best office in the world. And where now we have Carbon Forest used to be the only true desert of Britain. It was all completely covered in sand by the moving sand dunes. And of course people didn't like that and wanted to slow the movement of the sand down. So it took the Forestry Commission 3 attempts to establish a forest over there. And now they're rethinking, maybe that wasn't the best idea because of the uniqueness of the sand habitat. Now walking on the settlement boundary along here, and as you can see here, the settlement keeps expanding, which is, people want to live here and people want to build their homes here. But when you consider the little peninsula that we live on, the pressure on the natural environment is huge. We need to keep this settlement boundary and not have that expand out over and eat up more and more of the natural environment. Conservationists like me need to take a stand and say, no, we're not moving the settlement boundary. This is the settlement boundary, and up to here, this can happen, but not beyond. An important part of taking care of things is our volunteers. The plan for this morning, now that we have lots of hands, we're going to get these logs off the trailer, carrying them together back out there on the supports, because we will need the trailer to pick up something from the woods. So if you think you need gloves, please help yourself to gloves.
Okay, it goes on like so.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's easy to put one hand on it and then...
Yeah, so I'm coming up here.
Yeah, we're going to pull it out. And you can come here, Fern, and bit by bit we line up along it. How are you doing in the back there? Okay. Yay. Down here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
This whole platform
Yeah.
was connected at the end of here and then bolted in, and
Oh yeah.
we decided it was time to get rid of it.
Yeah.
It just seemed like
Yeah.
this thing was such a small pond
Yeah.
that putting a wood structure, if there was a big pond,
Yeah.
in my opinion, but Kajedo was also sort of before, it was like it's a big it's a risk for children falling in,
Yeah.
hanging over, and they're not using it for dipping baskets and stuff in or whatever, nets. It's wet, logged, and heavy. Whew. Yes. Got it. Hey, who said working in the forest was easy? Kyle didn't. But he's fit as a fiddle. I feel like what's it called? The Highland Games. We're prepping for the next year's Highland Games, you and me, John. Ready? One more. Bring it towards you a little bit. Okay, good.
Many hands make short work, right?
I'm excited to see a bit of this, the bank here exposed, because there's really beautiful, unique things growing around in the other banks. I love that tractor. It's so nice sitting in the back of it. You can feel the vibration like all through all of it.
Little tractor. Perfect for the job, goes everywhere. very light. We can get into the woods wherever we want. It is a little moody though. It needs some good talking to sometimes.
The other day, me and Chris put some of this marmalade in our Earl Grey tea. It's ginger and orange. It was actually quite lovely. Yeah. But like a funny texture, a very funny texture.
Digestive biscuits.
Ooh la la.
How fast do they work?
I can get into them.
Do you need some digestive biscuits?
Hey?
You know, it's never a bad idea to get help with digestion, but I don't need to be running to the toilet at the same time. Sure.
Fancy pants digestive. I think it's a rye digestive biscuit.
Yeah.
Fancy pants or messy pants?
Conifers that spread themselves onto the heathland, and we lose the heathland, the lichens. So that, you know, it's not to say that the lodgepoles are bad. It's just like with us. You know, there's nothing bad in any one of us. It's just a lot of unintegrated stuff and stuff that's out of place. You know, there's emotions, emotions that have their place. It's not just the colorful, bright things that grow up to the light that are spiritual, but also the things that grow into the dirt. Feeling of being able to express your emotions. If you need to express anger, do it in the appropriate places, and not just while there's kids around yelling at each other, and you know, it's not appropriate. There's nothing bad. No tree is bad. There's just trees coming up in inappropriate places. So we're going to do a really gentle job, going for a nice walk out to flowering heathland, purple, and we pull pine trees to protect the heathland and the lichens. Terribly sorry, dear one. The dark green color, right? And you pull number one. So I suggest we just sweep across this and pull up. Even if it's a Scots pine, we keep this area.
The whole thing,
Yeah. Down there, like we talked before. Where is appropriate, the trees can be down there. This area is designated to be a heather and lichen area. So, voila. Yeah. So that's it.
Makes your hands smell so nice. So with the students from Forest Academy, as part of a biology field trip, they came down and we did some conservation work together, pulling the seedlings. And we were in these lines, trying to get them numbered in the lines, and and we said, okay, it's like have you seen the police shows where they're scouring an area? And we started walking, and the lines immediately broke up, and they were talking to their friends. But we were walking along and slowly picking up the seedlings, and yeah, it was really beautiful. We got over 1,000 baby trees taken from a place they shouldn't be, and yeah, it was very special. And as they continued, it's like that you could see them, their eyes clicked in to being able to properly differentiate and spot it, and to click in to see the other things around it. It was very special. And I just saw one behind you there while I was doing that. Your eye adjust to that specific shape and that specific shade of green. I'll be seeing it in my dreams tonight.
A little bit painful, but it needs to be done. Otherwise, what you see over there, that's what it's going to look like here, and then we lose the lichens and the heathland with all the different species associated to it. Ah yeah, everything in its place. In the last 20 minutes, I'm holding 65 trees in my hand right now. If we do nothing, and they get to grow, then it'll look like this. Which is fine, but we don't want this to spread itself all the way and cover everything. So this needs our help so it doesn't become that. There's plenty of space for that.
At first it felt like a different approach to work, like working with my body. In the past, I've always felt this pressure to continue, or to prove myself. Being out here, it's been a real practice of listening to my body.
My greatest hope for the plant, that it doesn't all disappear into the sea in the next 10 years. That's my hope. For more and more people to be educated, to learn about the land that they're living, walking on, that they're living next to connect people with what it takes to take care of the earth, take care of the land, to look after this amazing planet that we all share.
Trusting your instincts, realize that knowing looks different to each. When living authentic, do more exploring, deeper than knowing just what is essential for life that is thriving.